First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody. I appreciate everyone who's showing the interest in learning how to taste the olive oil and everyone that is already a customer here at our store. We really appreciate you because we know it's not without you that we could be here. So that being said, everybody got a nifty little green folder when they picked up their little bags. Open up the folder. You're going to find a bunch of stuff stuffed in the pockets.
Okay.
So everything that is on this side that has the two pamphlets, that's going to be for you for later. We're only going to deal with this side here. So this is stuff that you can review. You're going to find a few articles to support some of the information that we're going to glaze over tonight in here. And if there's anything that you want more information on, please feel free to contact me outside of this event. And I'm happy to provide whatever kind of research I have. If there's any particular subject or topic that you'd like more information on that I have. If I don't have it, I'll find it and get you some answers. Okay, so we're first going to work on this side. And the first thing I want you to do is take the whole thing and just take it out of the pocket, close your folder, and set it aside. I'm going to throw mine on the floor because everything slides.
Right on.
Now my packet looks just like yours. So this first chart that you have in there, this is the olive oil industry standard. This is what governs olive oil in the United States. These are the tests. These are everything that they go through, whether it's Bertolli, Papillon, it does not matter whether it's Great Value, Walmart, Publix, whoever's brand, they all have to meet this standard, everything in the green. So when you look down, there's a gold stripe or a yellow stripe down the very side. That's our standard. That's the standard that our olive oil has to meet. That is the ultra premium standard. That is actually the highest standard in the industry. That standard is tested by a single lab in Australia that is the #1 lab for testing olive oil in the world. They're the only ones that can award that standard, and that's the standard that everything we sell has to meet. So you'll look that there are some things that we test for, that our oil is tested for, that the olive oil industry doesn't even look for. A lot of the things that you're going to see that we test for are exactly what lets you know how healthy that oil is. Any questions on the chart? We're going to go into depth on what some of these definitions are and why they're important to you in just a minute, but anything on the chart that jumps out at anybody?
I thought Italy was famous for their olive oil.
They are famous for their olive oil, but they're like the second smallest producer of olive oil in the world.
Really?
They have good olive oil.
They do not produce enough olive oil to supply the consumption in their own country.
No kidding.
So they import olive oil then?
They do. They import olive oil. Can anybody guess where they import olive oil from?
Mexico.
Portugal.
Greece.
China.
Maybe Australia, because I do see
Yeah,
Australia.
who said Australia?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because I see the Australian
is the
standard, so I'm
world's
assuming.
#1 producer in olive oil.
No kidding.
I would never have guessed that. I mean, I did guess that.
You know why I thought the Godfather, he was in the olive oil business.
Yeah, but he was in the US. He wasn't in Italy.
Yeah, but he was getting olive oil from Italy.
We get the occasional olive oil in our northern harvest from Italy, but it's not a commonality. Olive oil from Italy is not as common as you would think. What you see is a lot of companies buying olive oil from all over the world, importing it into Italy, bottling it in Italy, and selling it as Italian olive oil.
Oh.
That's like champagne.
Major olive oil labels have lost millions of dollars for doing exactly that.
No kidding.
Champagne's the same way. Champagne's supposed to come from the Champagne region, but
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good to know.
So the next page that you're going to get is going to be a page. So if you go past, take that one down. The next one you have is a bunch of definitions and terms. We're going to talk about these terms and we're going to talk about what they mean and why they're important to you when you're looking at your olive oil. So this is just a reference page. for you to see what I'm mispronouncing as we talk about this, because I promise you, I'm going to mispronounce them. There are some words in there that I've asked scholars and they're like, yeah, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
So namely one, the bottom one that we all just call PPP. It's poly,
No, it's not poly, it's pyro.
yeah, pyro, pheo,
Fight it.
phytin.
Pyro,
But-
fighting.
We like PPP. It works much-
P5O.
It's a nice reference. So you go
Are
ahead
they-
and pass that one.
Oh, sorry.
This is what they call a flavor wheel in olive oil, and I believe wine has a similar flavor wheel when they do the flavorings of wine. So this is our olive oil flavor wheel.
Lovely.
These are some of the flavors that you're going to pick up in when we get to the tasting portion. So this is some of the stuff that this is what they look for when professional tasting panels. Wouldn't you like the job of getting up every day, going in and knowing that all you're going to do all day long is taste olive oil?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I would like that actually. Would be healthy.
All they do.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all, that's their whole life's work. That's their job. That's all they do is taste olive oil. And this is the flavor wheel. So these are the flavors that you're going to see and that you're going to taste in some of the oils. And a lot of our oils will pick up some of them. Can anybody guess how some of these flavors come to be in olive oil? What are some of the influences?
Where they're grown, the dirt, the earth.
Where they're grown? What else?
Olives are fruit, so you would expect a fruity flavor.
What was that, Sadie? Olive is a fruit. What was the last part of that?
You'd expect a fruity flavor.
You do get a fruity flavor, but what would influence that fruity flavor?
The soils.
Yes.
the
So
fruit.
we've got the
Weather.
ingredient it's grown in. We've got the soil it's grown in. What else?
Climate.
Mhm.
The climate it's grown in, and what else?
I don't know.
Soil.
For the fertilizer.
Temperature.
How about fertilizer?
Drainage, water.
How about the water?
The water. Yes.
The fertilizer.
Temperature.
You don't get a lot of fertilizer or a lot of chemicals in olives. They're
Okay.
Temperature?
They're pretty resilient and they grow in certain climates, but
How about-
there's not a lot of things that you add chemically. They don't have a lot of natural predators. There's only like 3 insects in the world that attack olive trees.
Wow,
wow.
really?
Which
Does
what?
anybody know how many varieties of olives there are?
Mhm.
Nope.
Would you,
No.
more than 4?
500s.
Couple hundred.
Keep going.
We're way off.
Thousands?
Over 780 known varieties.
Okay.
Ah.
Really?
Need an olive. Okay.
Does anybody know the difference between a green olive and a black olive?
I don't like
Color.
What
one
is-
does in martinis and one doesn't.
Yes.
I don't like martinis either, so I'm just kidding.
Yes, you do.
I know. I like
Black olive is fully ripe.
martinis with olives in it.
The
Actually,
ripeness.
Black olive is overripe.
Over.
Oh, so they start out as green and they become black.
Overripe.
Overripe.
While
I see
There's
that.
only 780 varieties. There's only one kind of olive. So when you start getting into different color olives, you're just talking about the ripeness on the tree.
Oh,
An actual ripe olive is green. When they're slightly underripe, they're a brighter green. But a ripe olive is green, and the darker the olive starts to get, the more ripe up till overripe, kind of like bananas.
Mhm.
mm.
Wow.
Is there a difference on when they would press them? Do they press green olives or black olives, or does it not matter? Or do they?
It makes
What they
a
come with.
massive difference as to when they press them.
Okay.
When you press an olive slightly underripe, you get a fresher fruit, you get a fresher olive oil, you get a healthier olive oil.
Mhm.
When you,
So extra virgin olive oil would be a green olive.
yes, extra virgin olive oil would have to be a green olive to test out. But what a lot of growers will do is they will let them overripe so that they naturally fall off the tree. And anybody have any idea why they would do that?
And they'll pick them.
Yes, they save money. What else?
They don't ripe.
Older, it gets juicier, so it's easier to extract.
It's like a mango too. Mango's the same thing.
Much
They're,
more out of it
Mhm.
without having to add anything to it. but they also get, for lack of a better term, a looser oil. It won't be as thick and as flavorful as what you're gonna taste tonight. All of our olives are harvested slightly green, and they're all harvested and crushed within 4 hours.
Oh, wow. That's quick.
A lot of
Question.
farms take their olives and they harvest them and they put them into storage, and then they harvest them again and put them into storage, and harvest them and put them in storage, and then they wait until they have a ton of olives to harvest, and then they run through and they crush them all at the same time so they can do mass production of olive oil. But what happens to those first bunch of olives that were harvested down at the bottom?
Crushed.
They're old. You're talking about, now an olive is a fruit. So what happens if you left a plum or a peach at the bottom of a pile and you waited and you added on top and you added on top? What's going to happen to the ones on the bottom?
Thanks.
It spoils and ripes and,
They're going to spoil and become rotten.
right.
That is there.
But they still produce those, and they still harvest them, and they still crush them, and they still produce olive oil with them.
But does it ferment like a fruit does?
It does.
Oh, it does.
It does. And they have a chemical process that
That's
takes
what I was saying. Does it become like wine? Can you make it
that
all
musky smell and taste out of it.
Mm.
All right.
Can anybody guess what the chemical is that they use to deodorize olive oil?
Charcoal.
I bet everybody here put it on this morning.
Well, oh, deodorant.
Deodorant?
The same chemical that they put in deodorant is the same chemical that they use to deodorize olive oil.
No
Oh.
kidding.
So now you can see the
They'll
olive oil.
add artificial flavors and artificial colors back to it so that it looks and smells like olive oil.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Sounds tasty, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So these are the flavors you really want in your olive oil.
I don't want the purple
That's the
ones.
flavor wheel.
Yeah, the purple one didn't look good. Muddy, white. Oh, wine I would.
Yeah, there's some interesting flavors in there that I don't really know that.
Yeah. You don't want to get too muddy.
I don't,
Right.
the purple ones.
Wine you'd be okay with, but fusty.
The vomit one is probably one you want to avoid.
Rancid.
Yeah, fruity.
So your next page is where we're gonna start to have a little fun.
Any vinegar.
And it just says olive oil 101. And it says 1, 2,
Ooh,
and 3.
I do need pens. I'll be right back. I'm getting pens.
The walnut.
This is where we're gonna take this one and we're gonna put it down. And Kelly's gonna grab her bag and I'm gonna tilt the screen so you can watch Kelly unpackage so we can unpackage everything together.
Hold on, she's getting pens.
Yep.
Yes. We'll give you a second to get a pen.
Get pens and water.
We got water, we need pens.
Is there a pen in the bag?
There is not. We should have.
Yeah, I got a pen.
I'll get
That from?
I'm done. Oh, my God. Just
I might
get
take- Oh, hold on.
Tell me mine.
Did you take anything out?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
She tried. I made her wait.
a- what's in here?
Give me a couple more seconds.
Oh, go.
Their password is Ranger. Oh.
You got this one.
Okay, ready?
That's really.
So the first thing you're gonna take out is the little baggie. And in your, open up your little bag.
Little organza package.
Cups?
You're gonna pour your little cups out. The center one's gonna have a seasoning in it. That's for later. Set that one aside. And then you're gonna take your cups and you're gonna set them on your 1, your 2, and your 3 box.
1, 2, 3.
And then you're gonna have 3 little cups sitting on your little piece of paper. And then you're gonna grab carefully, your tissue paper and pull that out. That's gonna have 3 glass bottles in it, so be careful. Lay it flat on the table and unwrap it. When you unwrap it, you're gonna see a bottle.
2.
And then that's all that first bottle is gonna have a 1 on it.
Yep.
On the lid. And set that one right next to, in the notes section, next to your first cup. And then you're gonna unroll it one more time, and there's gonna be a second bottle with a 2 on it. And you're gonna set that next to the 2 cup. And then the third one obviously is gonna go next to the 3rd cup.
Save the bread for later.
Yeah.
I know.
Bread
We're
for
just
liquid.
taking a picture.
Selfies.
You're gonna have, like Kelly has here, the 1, 2, and 3, and your cups set up on your paper.
Got it.
I've got one.
You guys got the seasoning, put it on the side. We use the
Two.
five.
No, it's net one.
Net one.
Where's the seasoning in? Did you not have bag? Sorry.
One thing I learned recently is that, and I'm sure Wendy will tell you, but I'm gonna share real quick too. Olive oil, you're not supposed to taste it with red. If you've never tried it before, you're supposed to taste it pure like we're getting ready to do. So I'm excited to get the full experience here.
That's good to know. Because all the restaurants give it to you with bread.
Yes, but this is where you're actually gonna like, it's almost like, you know, like wine is my understanding.
Yes.
And
You're not tasting it to eat it at this point. For right now, you're tasting it to truly be a connoisseur of olive oil.
Gotcha.
Ooh, like a sommelier.
Like going to school.
Yeah.
We are sommeliers now. Call it sommeliers.
I don't- listen,
Join without.
They can hear us.
That was Matthew,
Oh, yeah, that was.
Wendy's son and assistant.
So after you go past your paper, now that you've got your paper with all of your olive oils, the next thing you're going to have is gonna look like this. And you have 3 of these. One for No Ciara, one for Don Carlo, and one for Mission. So we're starting with Mission. That's gonna be our first olive oil. That is a mild. And we're gonna talk about what these cards mean to you.
Oh, wait a second.
And if you've ever been in the store, you've seen these cards in front of all of our tanks.
we're missing one of the papers, the 3.
Oh, you want one of ours? We have 2.
I got extras.
Jerry, I'll find a way to get it emailed to you.
What one are you missing?
I don't know,
We have Mission and Don Carlo.
Okay,
So No Ciara.
you're
Okay.
missing number 1, which is the No Ciara.
Well,
So
technically,
It was stuck
number
together.
3.
papers just stuck together. We might have found it. No, no, we don't have it.
no?
No. Just if it's needed, you'll have to tell us what to do.
Okay. It was just for your edification to know
Oh.
what it is, but we're gonna talk about it. It was so that you could see.
Oh,
Some
okay.
people learn visually, some people learn audibly, so I made sure that I covered all my bases.
That's good. We're okay.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about the Mission. You're gonna see this in there. This is what you see in our store when you come in and look at our olive oils. So this is actually Mission. Right underneath it is our inventory number, but it also will let you know if you're really watching the numbers. That's like our lot number from our supplier. That tells us what lot, what harvest they came out of. It really doesn't mean a lot to you unless we have 2 of the same variety and you like a particular one, it's gonna have a different number right there. But it means a lot to us when we're looking it up. And it helps us when you say that you like this one, when we have, because there are 780 variety of olives, but we do get duplicates. So they're not always different. So if we've got them from one from Chile and one from South Africa, but they're both Fabulosa, you may like the Chilean better than the South African. And the only way we know the difference is by this little line, this little number right here.
Okay.
So then it's going to tell you the crush, which is June of 2020, which makes this a Southern harvest. They rotate olives twice a year, a Southern and a Northern. So we rotate our stock twice a year, Southern and a Northern, so that we're guaranteeing the freshest. So you know that it was harvested and crushed in June of this year. Underneath it, it's going to tell you that it's a mild.
From South Africa.
And from South Africa, exactly. And then you're gonna see the tasting panel assessment under that. These are those people that spend their entire lives doing nothing but tasting olive oil. And that's their assessment. They assess it for fruitiness, bitterness, and pungency.
So 5's the best.
I've seen them go higher. I've seen 6s. I don't think we've had,
Oh.
it's a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, okay.
And I've seen up to 6s. I haven't seen higher than a 6 in the 3 years that we've been doing this.
Wow.
But a 5 in fruitiness makes it kind of light and fruity. But it's gonna have a high pungency, which means that flavor is gonna stick in your mouth a lot.
Mhm.
And then it's got a lower bitterness, so it's not gonna have quite so much bite. Keep in mind, this is a professional tasting panel. This may or may not apply to the way it tastes to you.
Right.
Everybody tastes different. So then underneath that, you're going to see their tasting description. That's what that panel has decided that this is going to taste like. They say that this is a delicate oil, has a light floral fragrance, a creamy almond center, a radicchino on the back. There is a delayed bitterness and a light peppery finish and low pungency. It's well balanced. So that's their assessment of this oil. So now let's talk about these numbers and chemistry down at the bottom. I forgot the word. So biophenols. Does anybody know what a biophenol is? And it doesn't count for you, Kelly, because you can read my notes.
Still doesn't help. I can't see.
No idea.
So a lot of people that come into the store come in and ask for the highest biophenol. Biophenols are actually the antioxidants. It's the grouping of antioxidants of health benefits that's in olive oil. So the higher the number, the more the antioxidants. That, however, also correlates with a little bit of pepperiness that you're going to get in the back of your throat when we get to the tasting part of this oil. It's going to kind of be like you bit into a peppercorn.
How high can those biophenols go to?
We've had them as high as 868.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
So it can have an infinite number,
Oh, okay.
but it just depends upon the olive and stuff. So our highest one to date has been an 868, and it was an organic chitui. They're usually, that variety of olive is usually carrying a higher biophenol.
Oh, wow.
So the next one is an oleic acid. Does anybody know what an oleic acid is? Those are your omega-9s. Those are monounsaturated fats and omega-9s that are heart healthy. That's the fatty part of olive oil. The healthy fat part of olive oil. And then below that, you go to your DAGs, which again, if we go back to that page that had all those lovely definitions on it, this is what we're talking about, are all the definitions that are on this page. So your DAGs, again, your DAGs. We go with DAGs. And that tells you the olive's age. The higher the number, and this is what we all love, the higher the number, the younger the oil.
Yeah.
So DAGs are composed of 2 chemical parts, and they classify them as a 1,2 and a 1,3. They have been able to track over the years of tracking olive oil that a 1,2, as it ages, turns into a 1,3. So DAGs are actually measuring your number of 1,2s inside that oil and telling you how old or how young it is. Then
So what's the DAG number you can get?
I've not seen them over 100, so it's good. I think the highest one we've had is like 98, because it doesn't matter. In those 4 hours, you're aging it. So the very moment that it's being crushed, and then that second, the oil immediately starts aging. So it's never going to be at 100%. It's always going to be something lower.
Mhm.
So squalene is underneath that. Anybody know what squalene is? That's also a natural antioxidant,
I know what it is.
and it helps with tissue repair,
Oh,
part of tissue. part of the tissue repair, part of olive oil. The squalene and the atoprophols are the newest additions to our chemistry. Remember I said we work with that lab in Australia for our UP certification. And they're always cutting edge on what they can test for in olive oil. And they are currently also working on these same kinds of numbers and measurements for balsamic vinegar, because balsamic vinegar has a lot of the same health properties as olive oil. They just have never developed tests to be able to break it out and tell you what its actual chemistry is. And they are working on that. So then we're going to go to the FFAs, which are your free fatty acids. The lower the better. Though you want your free fatty acids to be low. It is the condition of the olive at crush. So the higher that number it is, the worse your olive was when it was crushed. You want it to be under 1 if at all possible, but the lower it is, the closer to 0 it is, the better the olives condition were when they were crushed.
A lot of science to this.
Yes. So peroxide, everybody knows what peroxide, right? Anybody got highlights? We've all had peroxide.
This thing is great as Almi.
So it's kind of the same thing in olive oil. It's an oxidation process that converts to peroxide when the air hits it. So it's the air exposure once the olive oil has been crushed, the olive's been crushed and turned into oil, how much air exposure has it had? So what are the 3 enemies of olive oil?
Oxygen,
Oxygen,
Water.
heat,
heat,
and
Light.
cold.
and light.
Oh, light.
Those
That's probably
three.
why they're always in a dark bottle. That's what I'm
Exactly.
guessing.
You always want to store it in a dark bottle with a good seal and away from the stove.
Mhm.
Ah.
Not on a windowsill, not in a clear, a pretty glass bottle, which always makes me cringe.
I'm guilty of putting it next to the stove, so now I know
Yeah,
better.
me too.
Yep.
Because
Get
you
it
want close to where you're using it, you know?
right. Well, you can have it on the counter, just don't have it right next to the heat source.
Gotcha.
Well, our heat source is either the stove or the window that, you know, so
It's
gonna-
Florida.
it's gotta go in the pantry.
In the pantry works, and then take it out and set it on the counter. We have a stack of it on the counter next to the stove, but it's not so close that when it heats, it's going to heat up the oil. That's what you're trying to avoid, is the excess heat on your bottles.
Gotcha.
Some people will put it on the back of the stove. You know,
Ooh.
they'll set it up on the
Yeah,
lid.
yeah.
So heat rises, and where is all that heat going? Right at those bottles of olive oil, or the cabinet right above, and they don't have that vent. So it's right there. So as the heat's coming up off the stove, it's heating that cabinet, it's heating up everything in it. So those are what you want to try to avoid when you're putting it there.
Gotcha.
And then our PPPs, and we've talked about that. That again is about your freshness of your oil. That tells you how fresh it is, how much exposure. It changes over time as it ages. Again, that's another one that we want the number to be lower. And then our atoprophols, that's our immune booster in olive oil. The atoprophol is what helps with the anti-clotting and boosts our immunity.
I know that radio station.
So when you're looking at your cards and you're reading them, you typically want everything. If you're looking at the card, so it'd be your left-hand side looking at it. So you want all of those numbers to be high and everything on the right-hand side to be low up until your toprophols.
Gotcha.
So it's a good way to look, even if you really don't understand the numbers, the way we lay ours out, you want the left side high and the right side low.
Gotcha.
Okay, so now that we've got that, any questions?
Let's taste.
Are we ready? Okay, so you're gonna open your first bottle.
Number 1.
You're gonna pour about half of that bottle into your cup. You want about that much in your cup.
Cheers.
Not very much.
That's right.
Okay,
Doing shots.
Napkins? No, I don't need a shot for this.
You've got to drink it without
So we
the
drink
bread.
it, is that right?
Nope,
Yeah.
not yet.
Not yet, wait.
There's a whole process.
Oh, okay. Is it like a wine, fine wine? Will
So
we
the first thing I want you to do is smell it.
Oh,
smell?
see, I said that.
Mild.
What do we smell?
Oil.
What does it smell? I like it.
Anybody smell bananas?
No?
Oh,
Crab?
I smell bananas.
Do you smell bananas?
Yeah, I don't like bananas.
Smelled grass initially, but it,
No, almonds.
I didn't spell bananas.
So now hold it up to the light and look. What color is it?
Yellowish green, like what is it? Tennis ball color?
Hard name, Amy.
What's that tennis ball
A
color?
light yellow.
Purest.
Okay.
It's like a
Now
yellow.
I want you to take your hand,
Mhm.
put your cup in it. Then you're gonna you're gonna cup it.
Oh.
And you're gonna put your other hand over top of it. And you're actually gonna turn it in between your hands carefully
Go to warm it up.
for about 30 seconds. You are bringing the temperature of it up. Typically, we're gonna bring it up probably around 80 degrees with the friction between our hands.
Okay.
You know what my doctor told me to do, or my pediatrician, with olive oil? Our oldest son had ear infections, and instead of doing antibiotics every time, she told me to put olive oil in his ear to warm it up a little bit and put drops of olive oil, and it kind of pulled out whatever was, you know.
Olive oil has an amazing health properties, all sorts of ways.
Yeah.
So now that we've done our friction, keep your hand over it, bring it up to your nose, take your hand off and take a deep breath in and tell me what you smell.
I can't smell.
I get grass.
Yeah, grass, Mary
Like
Ann.
grass
Grass.
is
Grassy.
Now that you've heated it up, it's
Yeah,
got a
my
much
mom.
more intense scent.
Grass.
Now what? Oh, drink.
floral.
No, not
Like,
yet.
Not
Wait,
yet.
I was just
So-
still smelling.
When you go to taste it and you put it in your mouth, first, you can't judge me. I have texture issues. So the moment this goes in the mouth, I'm going to make a terrible face. Not because I don't like it. It's because I don't like cooked fruit either. So don't judge the oil by my face. It's not fair. You're going to put it in your mouth and you're going to make sure you coat your mouth and then you're going to slurp. This is the only time somebody's going to tell you to slurp your food. You're going to slurp it so that you drag it across your back teeth as you're swallowing it. So you're literally going to make a sound when you swallow it, and then then you'll get the flavor, and you're going to, and I'm warning you, you're going to get that peppery burn in the back of your throat. So now you can taste.
Chug it. Oh, I mean. Did you,
What am I doing?
do we drink all?
Wow.
And it's really not fair that I don't like slime.
Wow, I got a lot of earthiness on that.
I did too. Okay.
That's what I'm getting. A lot of earthiness.
Yeah.
And a little
Okay.
bit, I just mowed the grass and got some in my mouth.
It's literally like eating mozart.
This is the burn.
Yeah, I can feel the
You
peppery
get the pepper at the end.
aftertaste. Mhm.
I haven't gotten to pepper because I like spicy food.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, and it's funny because I like to say I still have all my taste buds. I'm not getting the pepper and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I didn't do it right. So I'm
You're not going to taste the pepper. You're going to feel the pepper.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah, feel
get the pepper.
Feel it right here.
Feel the pepper.
You didn't slurp.
Become the pepper.
Like we love arugula because it tastes like pepper. Like we can eat
Yeah,
arugula right out of it, like
Yeah.
just no
Mhm.
salad dressing, nothing, just eat arugula.
Now I got it.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Wow. But that's very, very pungent grassiness. And, and I'm probably
That
gonna
was
wrinkle my nose at. Like
good.
I said, I
Maybe
still
witch.
have all my taste buds, everything. Oh boy. Okay.
That was good.
Interesting. Can you talk?
Yeah. I just hate that.
Was that why you went off screen?
It is. I make a terrible face, and it's not fair because I really like the flavor of olive oil.
But you wouldn't be selling it.
She does sell it.
I can,
No, but you wouldn't be selling it on
Yeah.
screen.
I can eat it on stuff, in stuff, all over stuff. The
We
flavor
got spread.
of it, I enjoy. The texture, the face I make is horrible.
He's like that with grapes
I
or,
would- I
yeah,
would-
he doesn't like texture.
Like,
Bananas.
no.
Now you can write your notes next to number 1 on what you tasted and how that tasted to
Onions.
you.
Mm.
What you thought, just like the tasting panel does. I'm gonna get the slimy out of my mouth.
Mm.
Guys, you know,
Good.
Anybody else get anything other than the grassiness and pepperiness? Did you get anything, other flavors?
I didn't taste the almond. I kind of could smell a little bit, but I didn't taste it.
Okay.
Anybody get green banana?
Green banana.
That's a very common flavor with olive oil.
I
No,
love
never
green
eat green
bananas, but I eat green
Green
bananas.
cane.
I didn't like green bananas. And I love hot stuff too, so.
Go in the yard, get some grass. You cut it today.
So then we're gonna go to number 2,
the
which is your
back.
Don Carlo. So before you taste, like Kelly's doing, everybody take some water and cleanse your palate, because with wine, you use bread. With olive oil and balsamic vinegar, both, you use water. So it's the same process.
Perfume, you use coffee beans.
Yes, when you're doing smells and perfumes and stuff, you use coffee beans. So you want to smell it first.
Pour some more, number 2.
Oh, I thought we were going through the whole paperwork.
Yeah.
We didn't do it this way.
Yeah. You need-
I'm getting grassy from this one too. Earthy, very earthy.
We don't
We will.
massage it.
Not yet. First you're smelling it and you're checking its color.
Ooh,
Well, I can smell the artichoke.
Oh.
Yes.
this one has a more.
Very popular.
That one
So
smells
this says-
heavier though.
That this Don Carlo
I can smell this
plays
one.
prominent
Better than
notes
the
of
first one.
bitter greens, dandelion,
Don Carlo.
Maraschino arugula. The oil has a nice light astringency and bitterness on the back end.
Paper.
You can smell dandelion. My mom's dandelion
So
salad.
now that you've smelt it and you've checked its color, cup it and make your friction and heat it up. And what you're doing when you heat it up is that you are opening up the olive oil, just like you do when you swirl the wine
Just gonna say.
and it opens it up. You're doing the same thing. The heat is opening up the olive oil to taste it. And I'm not making that face again.
She's gonna let me make that face.
Yeah,
No.
let Kelly make that
Big
face.
face.
I've tasted all of these once.
If you guys, I know most of y'all came into the store and picked everything up, but for those of you that had someone pick it up for you, if you've not had a chance to come down here, I mean,
You will taste
how
the-
many different olive oils do you have?
Between the oils and balsamics, we have over 80 flavors at any given time.
Wow.
Unbelievable. We'll have to, when we get a chance, once we're done,
You froze.
we'll pick up and I give you a little,
Hello?
okay, unfreeze. We'll do a little walking tour of,
The store.
at the
Just
shop,
store.
so you can see.
Hmm.
Right.
All right, so
One day.
take it back to your nose and notice the difference in the odor. It should be, you should have more smells once you've heated it up and opened it.
I like that one.
And then you want to put it in. Now, if you had a problem with the peppery burn from the first one, this one's going to be worse.
It
So
is-
you
it's
may or
good.
may not want to slurp this one. If you just want, if the peppery burn bothered you on the first one, you don't have to slurp it. That's what's going to aerate it across your teeth and really open it up in the back of your throat.
Mm.
You can just taste it without aerating it.
Yeah.
Or you can make Kelly's
A
face.
little bit peppery.
But we
a
like
little
it.
bit
It
more,
tastes
but-
like arugula, and we love arugula. So
Yeah, okay, that's what I was trying to, thank
Yes.
you, Sandra. I was trying to figure out what it was that I was getting, but again, it's still that earthy kind of,
That dirt,
Yeah.
smells like dirt.
yes.
you know, like some people don't like cilantro. I know people who can't stand arugula, and we love, like, we will just do arugula.
It's like, you
Like arugula.
That's where I got it
don't
from.
like cilantro either, though.
I
But
love cilantro. But
I'm
cilantro does taste like dirt, but I like it.
I'm part of that 30% of the genetics that cilantro tastes like soap.
Oh, yes, gotcha.
You know, when I was little though, if we said bad words, my grandma would wash our mouth out with soap, and it was always ivory soap, which is 99% pure, and that actually tasted good. So it wasn't, it didn't
You
really.
would
That's a lot.
Yeah. So I didn't swear a lot, but every now and then if I said something bad, she'd wash our mouth out with soap, and ivory soap tastes good if you've never tried it.
Don Carlo has a fruitiness of 5, a bitterness of 4, and a pungency of 5.
I like that one.
I have to ask, is anybody getting
That
the
was good.
fruitiness of it, or is it?
This
You know
is
what?
prominent bitter greens and dandelions, so it's not
Not
going to
as
be
fruity.
as fruity.
Okay.
No, it's not
No,
fruity. It's
not
definitely
fruity.
sweet. Hi, sweetheart. Okay. We're tasting olive oil.
So you can make your notes on that one.
I like them both.
I do like this one a little bit better, I think.
I like this one better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one is a medium, and it's also from South Africa.
What would you say
Thought
your
it finished
most
smoother.
popular olive oil is at your shop?
Well, we have a few different categories. Infused, agrumato. It's hard to have a favorite extra virgin because they rotate every 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
If you're talking about our highest seller, it's always our highest biophenol.
Yeah. And do you say north and south as in hemisphere?
Correct.
North hemisphere, south? Okay, that's okay. That makes sense.
Yes. We have a lot of clients that come in specifically for the health benefits of the high biophenol olive oil.
I gotta remember that.
My husband takes the olive oil every day. For medicinal purposes, they recommend anywhere from 2 to 10 tablespoons per day of olive oil. It'll lower your cholesterol. He didn't have to start taking cholesterol medicine. He was able to increase his olive oil intake and lower his cholesterol well enough to not have to take medication.
Well, maybe get that.
We actually have a couple customers that have that has transpired. We have a couple local physicians that'll send people in to try this first, see if they can take the olive oil, stick to it, and lower their cholesterol with it.
Wow.
So, good with that one?
That was
Any
good.
questions?
No.
Now on to our robust,
I'm a little nervous.
our no Sierra.
She
Who
is.
said that? Who, you?
DeLand Chamber is nervous.
I'm nervous.
Oh.
I'm not nervous.
Talk about the color.
I was waiting until you were done pouring, figuring everybody was pouring. So when you look at the color of this one, you're gonna notice it's got a little more green tint to it.
Oh, definitely.
No, I do see that now.
Yeah.
So
this
if
is
you put it on
good.
something white like the paper, which is why we set them on the paper, it's less golden and a little more green.
Yeah.
The number 2 is a little darker.
Yes. And that's the variety of olive. You've got 3 very different varieties of olives.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
What do you smell?
Be the green tea.
Go ahead, y'all go. What do y'all smell?
So when I do tastings in the store, I try not to have people read the card first because I want them to smell it and come up with their smells, because so many times people will read the card and go, oh yeah, I smell that. Did you really smell it, or did you read that it said that so you thought you should smell it?
What do you think? That's what I'm going by. You.
Most of the same to me.
My sniffer must be off because I can't depict anything from it.
I couldn't either.
Very light grass smell.
I agree with you, Kelly. I can't smell much difference.
It's not as heavy in odor as the first 2 were.
This
It's like the
actually
first
a
one to me.
robust oil. However, it is a lighter and florally oil.
Okay, so we're not bad off then, guys.
No,
The second one seemed heavy.
Yeah,
it's got a much more pungent taste. So
exactly.
this is a unique variety with a sweet, fruity nose. Oil has a beautiful complex layers, notes of green berry, artichoke leaf, and green tea. There is a delayed bitterness and pungency with a light peppery finish. Don't let them lie to you. And a balanced finishing oil. By the time you get to robust, this has a biophenols of 514. That is not going to be a light pepper.
When I was here with her last week and we were talking about the different olive oils, she was going and looking at the robust ones and she goes, Nope, can't do that. Nope, can't do. Okay, you know, I can't hurt them. I gotta make it nice and easy on them. Or robust.
So again, if you didn't like the peppery of the first one or the second one was too much, don't slurp this one. So you're gonna cup it and you're gonna
Oh, I
heat
didn't do
it.
that first. Sorry.
You're gonna cup it and you're gonna heat it just like you did the other two.
That
You've got
last
30
one was really peppery. The only thing I'm noticing that's different, to me, they all look the same color. They all smell the same. But the peppery is the only difference I'm really noticing.
The higher the biophenol gets, the more intense that's going to be.
Yeah.
So this has a fruitiness of 5, a bitterness of 3.5,
That my
pungency of 4. It is also South Africa, June of 2020. No Sierra. This is the first time we've had this variety of olive. This is a pretty rare variety of olive and not a common one that we get. Okay, so after you open it up, what do you smell? Y'all are a riot.
I'm gonna smooth.
What are we opening?
What were we supposed to open?
That's got a little bit more peppery.
This is number 3.
That's number 3.
Yes,
Oh.
That's a
what
little
she
bit
said.
more
She said
peppery.
it's
Really, I don't know if I want to try it after your face. Now I'm scared.
See, I like spicy food, so this
I like
doesn't
sound number
affect
one.
me.
No, this was really good. It's very smooth compared to the other one's good. Has more pepper, but it's definitely a smoother taste.
It's a creamier mouthfeel and
Yes.
more buttery,
Yes.
softer.
Yeah,
I like the
I
last
can
one
still
better.
feel the pepper
This would be
towards
really
the,
good on fish.
yeah.
And in the back.
2 and 3 are my favorites.
For me, it was like, Joanna, I could hear you say, yeah, by my face, go ahead and try it. But it's like I was playing in the dirt on the farm. For me.
It's really
I just made her husband laugh in the back. But it was definitely just, the whole head shake thing wasn't about the pepperiness or the heat of it, because I didn't slurp it either. I just kind of sipped it, but it's not as, I don't know. I like 1 and 2. So I'll try it again. I'm brave.
Yeah, I like very spicy stuff, so this
This one is more,
is very
yeah.
light for me.
I like this one too. I think it tastes more like olive oil. The other ones are like
Yeah.
softer. This one is like how olive oil should taste to me.
It's
very,
a
very
robust,
smooth. I really
but
like
I chose this one because it is a rare variety, but I really, without opening it up, just for everyday use, because you wouldn't do this every day. You're not going to do this before you use it on your food. You're not going to do this when you're dipping bread in it. I like this variety. This is a very nice, level, robust olive oil, as opposed to a couple of them that go a little bit higher. Like I said, nope, can't do that one. When people aren't used to tasting olive oil and opening it up, it can get very intense and it can get very, and we're clearly not.
Let me ask you, maybe
What was
this
the
will
name
help.
of the last one?
What's
The
that, Jared?
name of the last one.
No,
No
Ciara.
Ciara,
no Ciara.
No Ciara, that's it.
no Ciara.
Robust.
You're
stuff.
breaking
You're
up.
breaking up.
Hold on. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Okay. What I was going to ask Wendy is of these, because with the ones that are infused,
You don't ever want to do what we just did with an infused or a flavored oil. That can actually cause chemical burns because of the way that some places flavor them. They don't use natural flavors. They use chemical flavors. And if you were to open up those chemicals, you can actually cause a chemical burn in your throat.
oh wow.
Ouch.
Don't do like a
So
jalapeno.
you never want to do what we just did that was actually gonna be the next thing I said, is we only do this tasting method with pure extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
Now you can go to the grocery store, you can buy a bottle of olive oil, and you can do exactly what we just did, as long as it's a pure extra virgin or an extra virgin olive oil and not a flavored oil. Don't go buy a lemon oil and try this, but you can go buy any of the name brand olive oils and do this and see how they compare with what we just did here tonight.
Hmm.
I have no problems with that.
Oh, she said it with a straight face.
Yes.
I think we'll come into your store and try it.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, Jerry.
And the balsamic vinegar. I love balsamic vinegar.
I'm a big fan of the balsamics there.
We have
Yeah.
36 flavors of balsamic vinegar,
I'll try them all.
Door for this.
white and dark.
You go
So
there.
I have this little bottle here of it's Pompian extra virgin olive oil, robust.
Mm.
First cold pressed, acidity less than 0.5%. It's not opened, but I've had people in the past tell me that this olive oil was just as good as what we had here in the store, which is why I have this little bottle here, because I'm happy to allow you to sample this against any of our olive oils. Nobody's ever opened the bottle and taken me up on that.
I'll have to try this.
So Pantheon got in trouble a couple years ago. Can anybody guess why?
False advertising.
They had a high rancid rate, right?
Was
Nah,
they said it was produced in Italy and it's not?
That was Bertolli.
Okay.
There was one that was Bertolli. No, they were less than 2% olive oil in this bottle.
Oh, my gosh.
oh my God.
What is it then? What's in it if it's only less than
It was
2%?
vegetable oil, canola oil, peanut oil. It was any
Oh.
other oil but olive oil.
It's like ginger ale not having any ginger in it.
Wow.
Not having any olive oil.
Jeez.
It cost them $10 million to do that.
I bet. Don't lie. I
And
bet
to
false
pay the
advertising, right? Sorry, win.
You'll see the issue with Bertolli was that they were saying that they were a real Italian olive oil. Remember earlier we talked about them importing into Italy, bottling, and then shipping
Yeah.
out and claiming to be Italian olive oil. Bertolli was a big producer of doing that. They lost $30 million because of that. And now when you look at the back of a bottle of Bertolli, it has a bunch of country codes down the back of it that tell you where their olives come from. And now it'll say in very, very small print, take your magnifying glass with you, that it's bottled in Italy.
Oh, my gosh.
No
Oh.
kidding.
Let me see what I have.
So
Yes.
come to
Wow.
the Olive to get your olive oil.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stores like that. You don't have to just specifically come here, but
I
if you
used it.
want real, true, extra virgin
I
olive
threw it
oil,
out.
we're always happy to help you.
What are some of the health benefits?
Oh, you mean some of the health benefits that we didn't talk about earlier?
Let's remind them.
Let's see.
Did I mess you up with your?
Nope. Okay. I just am trying to make sure that I'm accurate. I mean, I know what they are, but
Yes.
it's heart healthy. It's good digestion. It's a natural anti-inflammatory. It's the same natural anti-inflammatory that you would get if you were taking ibuprofen.
Oh, wow.
Same anti-inflammatory properties.
I was turning on the oven to heat it.
Your cholesterol, it is oxidative stress. It's good. It's actually our balsamic vinegar and our olive oil both will help balance out your sugar and type 2 diabetes to help level you out so that you are more even throughout the day. Let's see, what were some of the other ones? Well, we talked about the Alzheimer's. We talked about the reversal of the fatty liver. We talked about oxidative stress. Anybody else think of some of the stuff that we talked about?
Now being quizzed.
Good for your heart, good for arthritis.
Yeah.
Good for your digestive.
Yeah, digestive system, good for your skin.
Age.
Blood pressure.
Age.
And it's good for your infections for little boys.
There's a book called The Pink Ribbon Diet, and it runs similarly with the Mediterranean diet, and it's about the benefits of adding extra virgin olive oil to your diet after breast cancer and chemotherapy because of cell rejuvenating properties.
I need about 10,000 for dinner.
Yeah, I've heard that all the fat cell or all the cells in your body are inside like a fat cell. So they're like all encased in fat. So if you use healthy fat, then all your cells will be encased in healthy fat.
Yep.
So that makes sense that it works like for a lot of stuff.
For today.
Oh, that was sweet.
Sweet.
So Wendy, Jerry Whitman said he has to pop off the call, but just can you tell us what we were going to do with the spices?
With your extra olive oil that is left in your little bottles, you can get a little sipping cup. And in your bag is a little loaf of bread
From Kneading Sweets.
from our friends over at Kneading Sweets, who also use a wide variety of our oils in their breads. And so I included a little bit of our Tuscan herb dipping seasonings.
Come on, Bert.
Did you go getting to you?
That was me. Sorry.
So you can put a little bit of olive oil onto a plate, add your dipping seasoning, and enjoy your bread.
I don't care.
So it's an olive oil tasting and a snack.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
I'll use the other plate to cut the bread.
Any questions for me?
I have a random question for you.
Okay.
Your angel wings on the wall. Where did they come from?
I bought them from Becker's Best when I took over their space.
It's cute. That's why. I told you it was random.
Yeah. That's fine. I asked her if she would leave them, and she said that she would.
Cut one piece of bread, right?
I have a question about the olives in the jars next to you. Olives are normally kept in a brine. That's
Yes.
the question. Like, what's the liquid?
It all depends upon the olive. Usually when people tell me that they love olive oil, but they hate olives, it's what the brining that they hate.
I don't like olives.
I don't like olives either.
And they're brined in whatever they were
You like olives?
soaked in. Do the flavor that you don't like, because if you like olive oil, that's truly the flavor of an olive.
Okay.
So these, the olives that are next to us, they are, they all come from the same suppliers that we get our olive oil from. And these, they're all different because they're all different flavors. This one is water, salt, citric acid. Pretty much that's it.
No.
I actually
Yeah,
love olives, and I bought the ones with almonds that you had.
Yeah, that's what these are.
Yeah, it was
Those
good.
almonds inside them?
Yes, they're stuffed with almonds.
Oh,
We have them,
okay. I'm gonna have to come by.
we have them stuffed with
Oh, those look so good. Okay, I'm gonna have to come by and try those.
Yes. So wait. Right.
That's
There we go.
good.
Wow, nice.
heard the old wives' tale that you can't cook with olive oil?
Mm-mm.
No. Score. Everybody here cooks with olive oil?
I tried. I have been now.
It's oil you can cook with. It'll actually make your food healthier.
I've been using olive oil for the past 6 months on everything.
So when you cook your food, you fry your foods in a high biophenol olive oil. What the olive oil does is it actually sacrifices that biophenol content to save the integrity of the oil. So you're actually getting a better frying oil using pure extra virgin olive oil. Does anybody know the actual smoke point of extra virgin olive oil?
180.
No. Lower.
Too high?
No, way too low.
360.
Higher.
Wow.
Wow.
On 450.
420
Wow. That's very high.
on average.
So if you tend to cook on a higher heat, which chemical number should you look at? Did you say the biophenols?
The biophenols, because what'll happen is that number will actually lower to save the integrity of your oil. But remember, when you do that, you're going to have much more flavor, much more pungency. It's going to be a much stronger oil. So any of our olive oils are going to have that higher biophenol number than, say, cooking with this, which we don't even know what its biophenol number is, but we know it's less than 2% olive oil.
I'm not buying that stuff anymore. I have been buying that for quite a few years. I recently switched to avocado oil, which has been good. It seems to be fine.
Get avocado oil because it is the second healthiest oil to olive oil.
So I think I'm gonna do like a duel between one of your oils and then the avocado oil. Kind of using back and forth, maybe.
Yep. Yeah, we are working. I actually contacted our supplier to see, and they did send me a supplier for avocado oil, but it's a baking company. So they supply bulk quantity baking goods. So I'm trying to talk Kneading Sweets into using them so that I can afford to get avocado oil from them.
Good idea. Work together.
Because the mass amount of quantity of avocado oil I would have to purchase to meet their purchase minimum, I would have to wipe out all my olive oil.
Wow.
Oh no.
I need Kneading Sweets to help me out
Yeah.
with some other stuff that they may need over there so that I can slip my avocado oil in on their order.
Good idea.
What about coconut oil? That's actually even.
I love it.
So
Wendy,
coconut
this-
oil is actually one of the least healthiest oils you can ingest.
What, coconut?
Coconut oil.
Is
Really?
it?
It is. There are
That's
some
least
health benefits in coconut oil. It does have some positives. There are some health benefits to it. The problem is there's more bad benefits than there are good benefits, and your body can't tell the difference.
Oh,
Wow.
that body.
I use it on my hair and on my skin. Is that not good?
Face.
Fine, you can do the same thing with olive oil.
Hmm.
It has coconut oil, but when you're ingesting it and you're cooking with it, coconut oil actually releases
Oh,
the
yeah.
volume of toxins when you heat it.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
And again, like I had said, in your packets, on that other side of the folder, it's going to talk about what happens when you heat olive oil. It's going to talk about the smoke point versus the FFA chart, which is what we just talked about. It's going to talk about why extra virgin olive oil high in oleic acid is beneficial.
Well,
Oh.
So it's going to go over the Alzheimer's research with olive oil.
what she
It's
says
gonna
is
talk about the squalene in extra virgin olive oil and its tissue repair benefits. So, and then it's going to give you the Cliff Notes version of the health benefits of the balsamic vinegar,
They said.
which you're going to find a lot of those health benefits in balsamic vinegar overlap with the health benefits in true extra virgin olive oil. So
This was great. And what was the name of the little spices?
it's our Tuscany blend. Kathy, will you grab me a bottle?
Oh, we got Tuscany bread.
This is perfect for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna put a little thing of this oil and the rub and bread while we wait
Trying to
for
bring me the jar that I took it out of so that I can show you the label.
Real?
So Kelly, you were keeping track of our trivia points?
yes.
I have 3 bottles, a bottle of each of the varieties of olive oils you tasted tonight. Let's go with the first bottle being our mild, which will be the first oil we tasted. This is the seasonings that are in there.
That was really good.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
that was good seasoning.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can see I took it out of that jar. Literally, this is the seasoning that's in there.
Literally.
So who got the 3rd highest?
The 3rd highest, Sandy Barker.
So that is a bottle of our mission. So you can pick it up either, well, you want to do it here? You want to?
Yeah, I say here. It'd be
Okay.
easier. And then
So you
Sandy,
can
put
pick
your
it
name
up
on
here. Matthew, will you put a post-it of Sandy Barker on that one? And our
thank
Next-
you.
our next highest is the Don Carlo, and that goes to.
Well, I tell you, we had a tie between the Whitman couple and the Delgado couple. So
Hey!
you guys get to pick, and then we'll let Jerry and his wife have what's left.
Oh,
Whoa.
What do you want?
So the Don Carlo, which
I
was
like
our,
the 3rd one.
yeah, we like the 3rd one.
so the No Ciara goes to the
Yes.
Delgado couple.
There you go.
Hey,
And this goes Whitman.
we didn't use Google.
Awesome.
Wow.
Anybody? Oh, do you want to see the shop?
Yes.
Yeah, he's never seen it. He's never been in it. He would love to see it.
Yeah, I would love to see it.
Well, it'll probably come up now that he needs to get some oil.
Well, there is that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's gonna take you for a walk.
Especially since to the DeLand, I stopped in the destination store because she had a wine tasting today.
Let's see. Let's not go there.
Oh, wow. That's a big
It's a
place.
big store. It's very nice.
Coming in from the front door.
So this is when you come in the front door.
Mhm.
That's Matt Garrett, our local potter and Stetson graduate. He makes, he's made pottery for us for several years now. And when we moved in here, we gave him this whole front section and he comes in and sets it up and that's where he does his pottery now.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I also have to fill out my wine. My
And
wine,
then-
women, and chocolate form.
This starts our
Oh my
infused
God.
oil table. So both sides of this table are going to be your infused olive oils. I'm not trying to make anybody dizzy. I'm trying to be really slow about it.
You're doing good.
Oh, I'm scared Jasper.
And then we're in our dark balsamics there.
Yeah, I can see the lighting went down. Get it dark.
It probably did go down. As I walked through the store, maybe a shadowy spot. We carry a wide variety of Tervis cups.
Oh,
When you
love
get to
Tervis.
this back table, that's our aggramato. Can anybody guess what aggramato means?
Avocado, something.
Aggramato. It's Italian for fused. It's a process where they take the whole olive and the whole fruit and they mix it in a single batch and they crush it together and extract the oils. You see the picture, that picture right there?
Yeah.
That's actually a picture of an aggramato process of our cayenne pepper.
I like cayenne.
If people want to taste these, they can taste them.
They
just-
can. You can actually come in and you can taste.
But just not the slurping method.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Not with things. We also have a spicy section that we keep separate from the rest of our stuff so that
I
nobody
like
can cross
I
it
like
by
spicy.
accident. We have a baccalauti, a cayenne, and then several other spices. So then when you swing back around and say hi to Kelly, you
Hi,
go
Cal.
back up through the center of the store, and now you're in both sides are dark balsamics. And then this next table is our white balsamics.
Oh, wow.
And then you see, of course, all of our olives that were there. And then we're going to cut through and we're going to go back. And then that's the rest of our white balsamics. And then we have our seasoning rack there in the back, four-sided and spins around. Our specialty table where we have truffle oils, nut seed oils, wine vinegars. And then this starts the robust end of our olive oil table.
Oh, wow.
This was what she was saying that she didn't want to
Hurt anybody
you
with. So you guys actually tasted the one you tasted is actually the third one in. Oh, one more over, that one.
So the biophenols on that one was 514.2. The one on the very end here is 644.9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to hurt anybody. So you go all the way down and they just keep going. This is the Don Carlo, you guys. It's kind of in the middle of the table.
Oh, okay.
And then you keep going down and keep going down. And then that was the Mission. And there's two that are actually milder than that.
I see.
And they do little gift sets. They've got great little packaging ideas. If you want to do minis for family members or anything like that, it's great little Christmas gift ideas.
Some little kitchen gadgets.
This one's a really good one.
That from them?
These are for them.
I never knew all this
Taste that
about
with your
olive
finger.
oil.
Taste that with your finger. I like that one. It's sweet.
And then we've got local honey and local honey products. We have a local honey company that makes candles and local honey.
And then the next one I have is basil.
Basil?
So there's a little brief tour.
Wendy, I love the new space. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
That is so nice.
And thank you so much. This was absolutely wonderful. I knew you were going to do a great presentation. I was just wowed by the one that I was at a couple of years ago. And I think you've even exceeded that tonight on Zoom. And that's amazing that you can do it right virtually now. So thank you so much for tonight. And I see everybody applauding. I think you got a standing ovation. So everybody can remember to stop down the Anointed Olive and pick up Christmas gifts. Those make great opportunities to give away some good tasting things. And Wendy, I just want to thank you for being just a valued member of the chamber and for always helping everyone in the community here to be healthier. So
if anybody comes in and they want to buy something, if they mention that they attended the Zoom tasting, just let the staff know and you can save 10% on your purchase.
awesome. Okay.
Here.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, don't forget Kneading
Thank you.
bread.
Yes, and Kneading sweets.
Yes.
Where do you get these?
Rich Avenue.
Okay. We live in Deltona, so
I
and
was just gonna point, but that's not gonna do you any good. So if you go back a couple blocks and
he works in Connecticut, I work in Boston, but we live in Deltona, so
go right, it's Kneading Sweets is right on Rich Avenue.
This is a mini loaf. They did this special for us for the tasting.
Oh,
that's cute.
Normally their loaves are your standard size loaves.
right.
They're taking orders for Thanksgiving pies. They do all kinds of sweets. They do little mini key lime pies. I mean, they've got a phenomenal shop.
Gotta shake it.
Breakfast muffins, they do breakfast,
Ooh.
bear claws, all sorts of breakfast foods,
Mhm.
pies, cakes,
Cookies. We got shout out from the back of the store here.
cookies. They just do an amazing job. Yes.
Well,
And they're
thank you so much. All right. Well, good night, everybody. Thanks for attending.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
It was a
you.
great time.
Bye.
This is very enlightening.
And delicious.
And healthy. Good and good for you.
Yes.